Now what we have done is, I am ready to show all the structures of the posterior triangle. See, this is the platysma which we had reflected initially, right? We see the borders more clearly now. I see this border which is formed, anterior border is formed by the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid right up to its apex, right? And I see the trapezius. This is the trapezius which forms the posterior border of the posterior triangle, and the middle part of the clavicle, middle 1/3 of the clavicle. These are the borders. What are the structures we see in the roof? The structures which we see as the roof are, this is the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid. Approximately at the middle of the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid lies the nerve point. This is the point from which you will see a bunch of nerves emerging in the posterior triangle. And these nerves are, let us identify them. This one is the transverse cervical nerve of the neck. This one, which is going along parallel to the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid, this is the lesser occipital nerve. The one which is moving towards the auricle and the angle of the mandible, this is the great auricular nerve. And another one which is, I will show it here, yes, which is moving towards the clavicle, that is called as supraclavicular nerve. The supraclavicular nerve trunk divides into 3 branches. One goes to the medial side, one is the intermediate or the middle supraclavicular nerve which may pierce the clavicle, and another is the lateral supraclavicular. Another important content in the roof is the external jugular vein. Now here we have actually reflected external jugular vein and its tributaries to clear the view. If we see another content of, this is about the roof. Now if we see the content of the posterior triangle, an important content is the accessory nerve. This is the spinal accessory nerve. How do we identify this nerve? I will tell you when I tell you about the muscles forming the floor of the posterior triangle. All these structures which we described in the roof are also a part of the content, because then they emerge and come in, because then they lie in the roof after becoming a content. Here more posteriorly, here up, there is apex of the posterior triangle, we will find the occipital vessels, occipital artery. Now recognizing the muscles. Now here, this is the sternocleidomastoid and this is the sternal head. For making the view clearer, I have reflected the clavicular head of sternocleidomastoid and I am showing you the structures underneath. What do we identify? We identify the subclavian vein. You recall the structures on the superior surface of the first rib. Then correlate with what we see over the superior surface of first rib, which lies just under the clavicle. So from anterior to posterior, we see subclavian vein, and subclavian vein more lateral to it, we see the scalenus anterior muscle. The scalenus anterior muscle is also recognized and confirmed by the presence of a nerve which moves on its anterior surface from lateral to medial side. This is the phrenic nerve, which has a root value of C3, C4, C5. Typically, it will cross the anterior surface of scalenus anterior from lateral to medial side. Just above it, you see a vessel, and that is the transverse cervical artery. Okay, transverse cervical nerve was here. Transverse cervical nerve was here and transverse cervical artery. This is the transverse cervical artery. So scalenus anterior. Now scalenus anterior, more posteriorly we see that there is subclavian artery. Vein is anteriorly, artery is posteriorly. Vein needs space. So if the muscle will contract, it will put a compression on the vein. Vein is Vein are collapsed structures. They don't have muscles in their media, tunica media. So they cannot sustain a muscle pressing on them. So vein is anterior and artery is posterior to the scalenus anterior muscle, which we recognize by the phrenic nerve moving from lateral to medial and on the anterior surface. More posteriorly, you see these are the shining white trunks of the brachial plexus. The trunks of the brachial plexus are embedded between scalenus anteriorly and scalenus medius. So the next muscle we see here, this is scalenus medius here. Guys, here I want to take your attention to the fact that now this is the inferior belly of omohyoid, and this smaller part of the posterior triangle is known as the subclavian triangle because we get the subclavian vein and the subclavian artery here. And since it is lying supraclavicularly, so it is also called as supraclavicular triangle. This remaining part above the omohyoid belly, this is the omohyoid belly, guys. This is the omohyoid belly, and the above area which is bounded by sternocleidomastoid, trapezius and the omohyoid here, this part of the posterior triangle is called as the occipital part of the posterior triangle or occipital triangle. You get the occipital artery here. Okay. Further, you see that this is, so these are the structures which we saw in the roof. And now what I can do is, now I can just cut off the supraclavicular nerve from here so that I can show you the muscles more clearly. Right? I can show you the muscles more clearly. So this is scalenus medius, right? This is the scalenus medius muscle, this one. Alright. This is scalenus medius. Next is levator scapulae. At the lateral border of levator scapulae, we see one of the important contents of posterior triangle, which should not be missed, and that is the spinal part of accessory or 11th cranial nerve. This cranial nerve is motor and it supplies sternocleidomastoid muscle and it supplies the trapezius muscle. So you can see that if I lift this up, it is piercing both the muscles so well. Are you catching it?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the spinal accessory nerve. It lies over the prevertebral fascia. Prevertebral fascia is like a carpet over the floor muscles of posterior triangle. Okay, and this is spinal accessory nerve at the lateral border of levator scapulae muscle. More superiorly, this muscle is the splenius capitis muscle. Splenius capitis. Can you please hold it more? Yeah. And here you see this is the semispinalis capitis muscle under the cover of trapezius. This is trapezius and this is the semispinalis capitis muscle. Thank you.